Thanks for joining us. I'm Nancy Furness, and this is We've Got Issues. We're filming today on site at the Coquitlam City Centre Library. We'd like to thank the library for providing space for us to carry out our interviews. And before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded lands of Coquitlam First Nation. So we thank the Coquitlam people who continue to live on these lands and to care for the lands and the water and all that lies above and below. So today I'm joined by Jatinder, Bhatti and Kim Hempler, who are with Tri-City Transition Society. So thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Now, can you tell us just a little bit about some of the services that Tri-City Transition Society provide to our community here in the Tri-Cities?
Yes, sure. So Tri-City Transition Society was founded in the 70s by volunteers. It was a civil rights movement. And then today we have many services. The core of the services is our transition house. Where women and children who are fleeing domestic violence situation, they can stay there. It provides them shelter and a lot of resources. There's counseling services from them. We have victim services program, there is parenting program, and a lot of one-to-one and group services as well.
Okay, so that's a comprehensive number of services that you're providing, and to have been in our community for 50 years is shows a lot of dedication to the issues that you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. And it also, I think, shows that those issues are maybe not going away. The fact that you're still here and operating, so it's something that maybe we can talk about in a few minutes here. How would somebody find their way to Tri-City Transitions, to the Secure Transition House? Can you explain maybe who's using these facilities and how would they get there?
Absolutely. So our services are offered for women and their children, and single women as well, who are fleeing domestic violence and abuse. There's a number of ways that they can find us. If they're online Googling, they can find our website. We have a phone number on there that's available for women to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for support and some directions on how to move forward and possibly just resources. So that's one way they can find us. We're also available through police or hospitals or other service organizations. We'll make referrals to the program and let them know that we're available and they can call us. And through all of those areas of resources that they can find.
Right. Now, you say 24/7 because these kind of situations don't happen between 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Right. So a woman who feels that she's in that position where she's vulnerable and needs help can contact you 24/7. So there's no need to wait till Monday or anything like that.
No.
And I think, we oftentimes think of abuse as being physical abuse in a domestic situation, but it's not only physical abuse. Can you tell us a little bit about, maybe define what is abuse and what does it encompass? Because there are many different types of abuse. Mm-hmm. And I just want to also say, Jatinder and I had talked briefly about this before the interview, that honestly, we could talk all day about some of these issues, so we're just touching on key points here. But can you maybe talk about sort of the different types of abuse that a woman might find herself in a domestic situation?
So there's obviously the one that people can see is the physical abuse that gets reported. The other abuses could be the emotional, psychological, verbal, financial abuse, spiritual abuse, abuse versus the pets that they might have. So there's so many different kinds, and it's very difficult for women to sometimes recognize these abuse because they you can't really pinpoint them, you can't see them,
Right.
family members can't see them.
Mm.
So it can be quite confusing and can play mind games. That was it an abuse or it's not an abuse? Maybe it was just a one-time thing. Maybe it was just caused by stress. So it's very difficult to prove.
Well, it's interesting, and you know, when things aren't visible, it kind
That's
of
right.
complicates it even more, because is it financial abuse? Are we a partnership? Like, am I, like, where is that line? And it's hard to kind of put a box around that. So, and I think you've mentioned a number of different abuses that I hadn't even really considered, like spiritual abuse. You know, it's something that maybe we don't really talk about that much. So there's all kinds of situations that I think it encompasses, and not all of them are visible.
No. So we always say for a woman to really pay attention to herself as well, how she's feeling around in a situation. Is she feeling like she's walking on the eggshells?
Okay.
Is she feeling she has a voice or not?
Right.
Is she comfortable to say no in a situation? And those are the signs that if you're not, then more than likely you are in a relationship that is abusive.
So some warning signs: if you don't feel comfortable speaking up and saying, no, I don't agree with this, or I'm not comfortable with that, then maybe that's something that you need to think about a little bit and consider. So there are some, are there any other warning signs that, I know there's probably lots and it's unique to the situation in the relationship, but are there some key warning signs other than feeling uncomfortable?
Someone who's dominating you, someone who's not respectful, who's being aggressive, playing mind games, isolating you from your family and
Isolation
friends.
is a huge
It's
one,
a huge
isn't it?
one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure is.
Controlling,
Controlling.
stalking,
Oh,
controlling your every move, where you're going, what are you doing, where can you work, what can you eat, what can you wear.
who can you see?
Who can you see? Yes.
Yeah. No, there's so many things, you know, coming at and in a
Who
relationship.
you talk to.
And then I guess when you have children, of course, it becomes even more complicated. Is there still a concern around stigma? Like, is, you know, people thinking, oh, it's my fault, I don't want anyone to know, I need to hide this, I'll try harder. Is that something that is still happening and still a concern?
It's one of the biggest challenge for women is the shame, the fear, the society pressure, the cultural pressure, the stigma around not to talk about, keep it a family secret.
Right.
So it is very fear-based and shame-based.
And you know, another sort of big challenge I would think is financial, right? Like, how am I going to manage on my own and staying, because you feel, you know, how am I going to, I have 2 young kids, and, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mom right now because I'm looking after the kids, and what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons that women stay in the relationship, because they feel it's better for the children, or financially, how can I support my children? So what's important is to know that no matter what their situation is, they can call, they can get support, even if they're not sure. To have somebody to talk it through with is what will help them move forward if that's what they choose to do. So in terms of, we have women that come to our transition house with just the clothes on their back and no money at all. And they're just
what a position to find yourself in, but to know that there's help out there for
yes,
you.
exactly.
And when a woman is calling, we never tell them what to do.
Right, okay.
We only share information with them. We want her to make the decision when she is comfortable and when she is ready. So we can work on the safety plan with them. We have women come to the transition house and they go back to their partner because they're not ready yet, or they want to give it another try.
Right.
And we respect their decision
Yes.
because that is their life and that's their decision.
And again, it's such a complex issue because each person is unique, each relationship is unique, and being in that place where you're ready to make that jump, it takes
Scary,
a lot of
yeah.
Can you maybe walk us through when somebody finally does make that call and says, okay, I'm ready, what happens? They pick up the phone, they make the phone call, and then what?
I have to say one thing. They pick up the phone, they make the call, and hopefully we have a space.
So resources are an issue?
Resources always issue. There could be a time when she gathers all that courage and thinks, okay, this is the day I'm leaving and I can't take it anymore. I'm going to call a transition house. And she picks up the phone and she calls us, and unfortunately we have no space.
Oh,
And then we
okay.
give her a number to another transition house, and she calls that transition house, and they may not have a space either.
So we need more resources to make sure that everybody who's ready to leave has a space and
Has
a
a
place
space
to
to
go
go
to.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to know that we need more resources and maybe need to advocate for more resources. So then what would happen if they said, I'm ready to go, and you said, okay, we have a space. What happens?
We'll have a conversation with them over the phone if it's safe for them to do that, and just to learn a little bit more about them and what supports they need to make sure that we have what they need and we can offer that. And then we'll set up a time, a day and a time that they can meet us at a safe meeting space, because our house is confidential location. So we never bring anybody into the house just with the address, right? We meet them at a confidential space and we bring them over to the house.
And that keeps that location secure.
Yes, and we ensure that they turn off their tracking system on their cell phone as well.
Oh, that's a good point,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And again, that controlling and wanting to know where somebody is all the time.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's really, really important. We welcome them into the house. We show them the space and the surroundings, and often there's children that come too, and they come and they're confused and they're frightened. There's fear and anxiety with that. So the first thing to do is just welcome them and make them feel comfortable, and that may take a few days even. Right? Because maybe they're exhausted and worn out and they need to rest. Confused, or maybe mom just needs to spend time with their kids just to settle everybody in. And we offer them that space to do that, letting them know we're here for support when they're ready, and to help them with the next steps, right?
So a safe, non-judgmental, just come in and be here.
There are many times when we have women come in and she has many physical injuries.
Oh,
And right away she needs to see a doctor, and she may not have access to medical,
right,
because she might be new in the country.
That's a really good point too.
That's
That
another
maybe
layer.
even there's a language barrier.
There's a language barrier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Your work must be very heart-wrenching, I think. Fulfilling and heart-wrenching to know that you're helping women in these kinds of situations where else would they turn? Maybe they don't have family here if they're new to Canada, and no support system in place at all. So when they come to the transition house, how long would they stay there, and what would happen there? Would they receive supports and counseling, and would there be a time frame around that, or is it just, again, depends on what their needs are?
Absolutely. It does depend on, so it's an individual basis, but it's a short-term stay, temporary, for a 30-day stay for our transition house.
Okay.
And that will give them hopefully enough time to recoup a little bit and really help them figure out what their next steps will be. And that's where our staff come in to help with their conversation, to guide them through what the options might be in terms of, it may be finding a source of income, if it's income assistance or some other piece of way they can find income. Maybe someone's temporary unemployed and they're looking for employment. So we will provide them all the resources to connect with those kind of agencies that help with that.
So I guess it's important to build that self-confidence a little bit, the independence, financial, some sort of stability. And then you find sort of the next step for housing. You help with that. You also have victim services. And can you talk a little bit about the victim services? What types of services are you providing?
So the Victim Services Program supports clients, and it could be men or women
Okay.
for that program, whoever has been a victim of a violence, supporting them with resources. So that could be legal aid, that could be the staff will talk to Crown Counsel, staff will talk to the police. They may support clients going to the court proceedings, show them in the court. They might be very anxious, so give them
and
emotional support.
Intimidating, right? If
Intimidating.
you don't know the court system, how can you
Yes.
navigate that?
Yeah, so they are there to help with all that.
Okay, so those are really important key things that, that might be a reason why somebody would stay. They don't know what to do. They can't get through the court system. They don't know where to turn. So those are all really, really important issues. And I'm interested that you said men and women.
Yes.
So do we see situations where there's abuse and it's the male partner or the other partner that's receiving abuse?
Yes, there has been. However, it's disappropriate. Unfortunately, there's a majority is women and young women. Yeah,
So it's younger women that you're seeing more of, and with
and
children?
senior actually as well. Even in our transition house, we've seen a lot of trend in women over 70s.
Oh, really?
Yes, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
And is that mostly financial, or is it just a whole variety?
Whole variety.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you seeing any changes, like over time? You've been around for 50 years. You have a lot of experience and background. I mean, not you haven't been around for 50 years. The society has been, but
I've been around 50 years.
has there been any trends that you've noted? Like, is it more psychological abuse now, or is it more physical still? I think you'd mentioned that there is a lot of physical
A lot of
abuse still.
physical, a lot of sexual abuse as well.
Sexual abuse.
And like I mentioned earlier, senior abuse. A lot of senior women we have seen coming into the transition house. And they also come with a lot of sometimes health implications as well. So it gets very difficult to find them the next
Right.
stage, a housing. Where are they going to
Right.
go? If the family is not supportive, they don't have children, where are they going to go? So we have found ourselves in a situation where we had to keep extending their stay at few times because we just could not leave them on the streets.
Well, it's interesting. I think a couple of things that you said there about the elders being, vulnerable, a vulnerable part of the population. And, yeah, it's hard. Where do you get that support system at that age and that stage? And the second thing is sexual abuse. So just to kind of clarify that there is sexual abuse within domestic relationships. So not to think that that's something that happens outside of your own domestic relationship, that it can actually occur within your relationship.
Within your relationship, intimate partner violence and sexual violence, yes, absolutely.
So, there's so much going on, and you offer so many services and do such good work and much needed work. How can, the community be involved? How can they support what you're doing? Given that the location is secure and that cannot be released, is there some way that, residents and concerned citizens can contribute and help what you're doing?
We are so lucky. Actually, I have to say there's a lot of community partners that step up at many different times. We have around Christmas time, Van City does the Angel Christmas Hamper program for children. So we get generally at least 100 toys or more. We have Cobb's Bread that donates. We have individual families who would say, we have some extra donations of toiletries, all unused, brand new. We had many shops in the Coquitlam Center Mall that have stepped up and said, it's a blanket donation, it's toiletries, it's and there's always Canada Helps. People can go online and donate through Canada Helps.
Canada Helps.
Canada Helps. $5, $10, whatever they can afford. Yeah.
No, that's really good to know. So people can donate and be part of this. Can people volunteer?
Yes, so obviously the transition house is on a secure location and we don't disclose that. But there are other ways to volunteer. We had people volunteer for their time, maybe in picking up the bread and dropping it off at the main
okay.
office.
Yes, okay.
Or someone, I think, they make quilts and then they drop that off at the main
Oh.
office. They can't come to the transition house, but they can drop it off at the main
Right.
office.
There is a way to get
There's
those to the
always-
folks that need
Yes,
them.
and we will then take it to the transition
And
house.
there's always such a huge need, no matter how many donations we get,
Yep.
because more women come through the house on a regular
Right.
basis, right? And one of the things I think is really first and foremost is to continue to build awareness. Help us
Right.
build the awareness in the
Yes.
community about the work that we do, about the needs that these families have, and be able to share that so more people are aware and understand what's happening, and so we can all come together as a community to help.
Well, and I think there's a huge amount of support, but it's knowing that you're there and how people can help out. So I agree that raising awareness and education is really important to make sure that you continue to be supported and well supported. The fact that, sometimes you have to say no to people, that's a concern. And I think, hopefully, at some point that won't be a concern anymore. So getting those additional resources somehow, I'm sure, is always a challenge. Now I know that you have a big event coming up, your 50th anniversary. So to celebrate some really good work that's being done so far. And I think, in addition to being a celebration, you have an exciting announcement that you will be making. So can you share a little bit about that with us? Like, what's happening? When is your celebration and what's it all about?
So it is on September 20th. It's at the Legion, Port Moody Legion. And everyone who would like to come and join us for that day is welcome to. You can call us if you need more information on that. As we seeing the need keeps growing, we would like to extend our services and do that wraparound approach of services in building a center, women's center.
So people can come, women can come to one place.
And get all the services instead of these fragmented services sometimes we have. They have to arrange for transportation. They have to get from one place to the other place to the other place. So instead of that, they come at one place and then they get all the services there.
So reducing the barriers.
Absolutely.
Well, that sounds wonderful. And, we're so grateful for the work that you do in the Tri-Cities. And I wish you all success in, carrying on with that good work. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we didn't need this?
Absolutely.
But I think
Absolutely.
until then, it's a really important service and role that you're playing within the community. So I thank you so much for coming in and sharing that. It's not always an easy subject to talk about, but I hope that we can talk again in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
inviting
I'd love
us.
to.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nancy Furness, and this is We've Got Issues. I've been speaking with Jatinder, Bhatti and Kim Hempler from Tri-City Transition Society.